Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Doug Martin and I will be your professor for Safety Management 3413 Applied Safety Engineering. Hopefully if you're watching this video you're in that class. If you're watching this video and you're not in this class, probably shouldn't be wasting your time. What I want to do in this video for students enrolled in Safety Management 3413 is introduce the course. Kind of give you an overview of what we will be doing in the class and how we will be doing it. It is online. This is the first time I've taught this class online. Taught it many times face-to-face, first time online. So there may be some hiccups along the way. Please be patient if there are any hiccups. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's talk about some basics that you need to be aware of. I've already mentioned my name. If you would like to learn more about me, I do have a bio video available on Blackboard, and I'll show you where to find that video before we're finished. We'll talk about Blackboard. I'll open Blackboard up and show you where everything is or where everything is going to be for the class. One of the most difficult things about an online class is staying engaged. I challenge you to stay engaged with the class. Don't put it on the back burner and forget about it, and then at the end of the semester you have 16 weeks of material to get caught up on. Now there are some assignments, and I'll talk more about this, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself with stay on schedule, but there will be some assignments that will have strict deadlines. Other assignments not so strict on the deadlines, and I'll talk more about that as we go through this course introduction. So stay engaged. Stay hooked up. Another important thing about any online class is don't be shy about asking questions. You have a lot of different ways you can contact me, and that's what I'm here for. If you need anything, all you have to do is contact me. Staying on schedule, we'll talk more about that. Read the syllabus. The syllabus is our game plan for the entire semester. It lays out everything for you. And we will take a look. Actually, on the screen in front of you is the first page of the syllabus. As we go through this course introduction, I'll highlight different sections of the syllabus. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I do want you on your own to read the syllabus. Once you read the syllabus, if there's anything that you're not clear about, let me know. Send me an email, send me a text, or however you want to communicate with me. Let me know if you have questions. Another thing I would like for you to look at is the course calendar. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you. It's kind of a small view of it there, so let me reconfigure this. This is a course calendar that is available on Blackboard. It kind of lays everything out unit by unit for the entire semester, starting on August 15th when the semester starts, all the way through finals week in December. And now there may be some deviation away from this schedule, but I doubt it. The only way there would be any deviation away from this schedule is if there was a national emergency or a week of winter weather, something that forced classes to be closed or the university to shut down. And I don't anticipate that in the fall semester. Now in the winter semester, as a lot of you know, we do occasionally have snow days. Snow days can affect the schedule in a class, but never had a snow day in the fall. But there's always a first. So again, look through this course calendar. This is going to give you a better idea of what we're going to be doing in the class. And let me go ahead and pull the syllabus back up here and resize this window. In this class, Applied Safety Engineering, we're going to focus on what we call a systems safety approach for identifying and controlling dangers in the workplace. Now, that's what we do as safety managers. And my very first video lecture will be about what we do as safety managers. But one of the most important things, the primary thing we do, is control dangers in the workplace so workers are not injured. We emphasize what are referred to as engineering controls, and this topic will be covered in a video lecture. The hierarchy of controls. Engineering controls, that's the highest level in the hierarchy. We will be looking at, throughout the semester, many different work environments, different types of tools and machines, a lot of different hazards that can be faced in the workplace. Of course, we can't cover all of it in one class, but we will be looking at a wide variety. It won't just be construction, it won't just be manufacturing, it won't just be healthcare. We'll be drawing from a lot of different industries as we talk about different hazards and how those hazards can be controlled. The course will be structured into 11 units, not including the course introduction. We have a course introduction unit, and I'll show you that on Blackboard here in a second. Then we have 11 units. I will start each unit with an overview of the assignments that you need to complete for that unit. There will be a lecture video in each unit titled Unit Overview. I have Unit X Overview. For Unit 1, it would be Unit 1 Overview. For Unit 2, it would be Unit 2 Overview. That would be your for each unit. When you start a unit, look at that overview video first, and hopefully those overview videos won't be more than about 10 minutes, just to give you an understanding of the amount of work or the different activities you'll need to complete during that unit. There will be a variety of assignments in each unit. There's going to be reading, there's going to be study guides, there's going to be some critical thinking activities, there are going to be video lectures. And one thing about the video lectures, if in the calendar it says watch video lecture, that should be video lectures. It could only be one video lecture. There could be 2 or 3 depending on the unit, which gets at another point that I need to mention about each of these units. Some units will be harder and take more time than other units. I try to account for that in the unit schedule. For the units that have a little bit more work involved, I give you more time to get that work completed. For shorter units, you don't have as much time. Each unit will end with a quiz that will test your knowledge of the material covered in that unit. And I'll talk more about the unit quizzes as we move along. For more details about the topics we cover, the course calendar, so on and so forth, take a look at the syllabus and the course calendar available on Blackboard. And this might be a good opportunity to bring up Blackboard for the first time. Let me pull Blackboard over into our window here. Go ahead and open up Applied Safety Engineering. Once you're in Blackboard, you can go to Assignments, and then there are folders for each segment of the class. We have the course introduction. We have Unit 1 and Unit 2. There will be 11 of these units in all at the end of the semester. But all the material that you need to work with, except for the textbook for Unit 1, will be available in this folder. And this is what I will go over. I'll go over this with you in each unit overview. When it's time for Unit 1, watch the unit overview video, and I'll lay out all of the assignments that you have. Again, all of the materials you need for this class will be provided through Blackboard except for the textbook materials. The reading that you will do out of the textbook, that will not be available on Blackboard, but everything else will be available on Blackboard. And we will come back to the Blackboard window before we're finished with this overview. But again, this is the basic course structure. 11 units, different assignments in each unit. Communication is crucial in an online class. I said earlier on that I've not done this class online before, but I have done a lot of online classes. And one of the biggest problems I've noticed with some students is that they don't keep up with the communications that I send out. I'll send out communications with email, and then I'll make assignments on Blackboard. Check these each day. And if you see an email that is pertaining to this class, don't ignore it. It might have some important, well, it will have some important information in it. Information that can help you in some way. Information that you need to know perhaps in order to complete an assignment. So don't ignore the emails, the Blackboard announcements. If you need any assistance, this is communication going the other way. If you need to contact me, you can text message me. My phone number where you can text me is right here, 405-612-8502. You can text me at that number, or you can email me at my university email address. You could also call if you needed to, but I would rather you text me first to make sure that I'm available to take a call. I might be in class, I might be in a meeting. So if you text me first, that's going to kind of pave the way for you to call me after the meeting or after class. And another thing about texts, I may not respond immediately. Same thing with email. If I receive a text or an email after 10 p.m., it's more than likely going to be the next day before I respond. That's kind of my cutoff period for each day. 10 p.m., no work after 10 p.m. I try to do that at least. But I am available to you. That's what I'm here for, to help you, to communicate with you, to answer questions you might have. Another option that you have throughout the semester is to schedule a Zoom meeting with me. I prefer face-to-face conversations, face-to-face discussions, and you don't have to do Zoom meetings with me when you have questions later in the semester, but that's a good way for us to have a discussion about anything you want to discuss pertaining to the class. Now, there will be one Zoom meeting that you're required to participate in, and I'll talk more about that as we move along. Already shown you Blackboard. It's a learning management system used to organize and make course materials available. If you are not familiar with Blackboard, most of you are, I'm sure, but if you're not and you need any help with it, let me know. You can also work with IT and the Center for Teaching and Learning. They can help you get up to speed with Blackboard. It's really not that difficult, but there is a slight learning curve if you've never worked with it before. One thing I need to mention, and it's right here in this orange box, Blackboard material for each unit may not be available in advance or all at one time. For example, Unit 1, I might not upload or have available all of the Unit 1 material on day 1, on August 18th. August 18th, that's the date when Unit 1 should start. Not everything that you need for Unit 1 will be available on that first day necessarily. It may be made available incrementally, but it will be made available to you so that you have plenty of time to complete all of your assignments that you need to complete for a particular unit. You will need to have access to this textbook. The textbook, the title of the textbook, the edition, all of that is on page 2 of your syllabus, Accident Prevention Manual for Business and Industry, Engineering and Technology, 14th edition, published by the National Safety Council. You will need access to this book. Doesn't mean you have to purchase this book. It is an expensive book. But I would encourage you, if you can afford it, and if you are planning to work as a safety professional, buy the book. This is an important book for safety managers to have in their library. When I was working as a safety manager, before I became a professor, I had this book in my library. It was an excellent resource that I could go to if I had any questions. Good reference textbook for safety professionals. Like I said, we'll use the textbook. I'm looking back through my points here to make sure I've covered everything. I think I have. Now, there will be other reading material that we will use during the semester. Those other reading materials will be made available through Blackboard. So this would be the only textbook material or only book that you would need to purchase from the bookstore or Amazon or wherever. And there are a lot of different retailers that carry this book and make this book available for purchase. One option, and I mention it here, if two of you want to go together and share a book, that might be an option if you can't afford, the cost of the book at this time. But be careful sharing. That can get messy sometimes when students try to share a book. So, but that would be a kind of a last resort kind of option if you can't afford the book at this time. Unit quizzes, big part of the class. Over half of the points that are possible in this class will be earned with unit quizzes. Quizzes will be based on study guide questions, reading assignments, and material contained in video lectures. The quizzes will be timed. Once you open and start taking a quiz, you will have a specified amount of time to complete the quiz questions. And the time that you have available to you, well, that will depend on the number of quiz questions in each quiz. So it could be 20 minutes, could be 30 minutes, could be an hour. It probably wouldn't be more than an hour for a unit quiz, but the amount of time will be dependent on the number of questions. When you take the unit quiz, you may use the answers from your completed study guide questions. So you would want to complete the study guide before attempting the quiz. You may also use lecture notes taken from the video lecture. Again, there will be at least one, probably more video lectures for each unit. As you're watching those video lectures, take notes. You can then use those notes when you take the quiz. The PowerPoint file will not be made available. You will have to watch the video and take notes to prepare for the quiz. One thing I would warn against, and I've mentioned this because it's happened in the past in my online classes, students will open up the quiz before they've done the study guide or before they've taken lecture notes. Then they try to answer the questions on the quiz by looking it up in the book or scanning through the video lecture trying to find the answer. You're not going to have time for that. Because of the time constraints, you need to do the video lectures with notes first and the study guide first before attempting the unit quiz. You do those things first, you'll have all your materials available that you will need to do well on the unit quiz. Again, over half of the points possible will involve the unit quizzes. And that's going to be approximately 560 points out of 975. Now keep in mind, these point values could change. Graded activities and points possible are subject to change, depending on any tweaks that may need to be made during the semester. Here's some more information about the video lectures. I think I've covered most of this. You're getting the idea. Watch all the video lectures for each unit. Watch them in order. They will be numbered. And I'll use a number system like this. That U11 means the first video in Unit 1. The second video in Unit 1 would be U12, and so on. Units for Unit 3, the first video would be U21. Take notes, I've talked about. Lecture material will be covered in your unit quizzes, where you may use whatever notes you have. Reading assignments. I mentioned study guides and study questions. Most of our reading assignments will be accompanied by a study guide with study questions. But there may be some reading assignments that do not have a study guide. Material contained in reading assignments may be covered on the unit quizzes. So again, complete the reading assignments, complete the study guides before attempting the quiz. The email assignment. The reason I do this assignment is so that I can make sure that everybody's NSU email is working properly. This is an assignment that you will complete by Wednesday, August 17th at midnight. All you need to do is send me an email using your NSU email address. And this is our objective, to make sure that email is working properly. Just doing this, taking 2 minutes to send me an email, that's worth 15 points. This is an assignment where there is a hard, strict due date. If you don't get it done by midnight, August 17th, you're not going to receive any credit for this assignment. Again, only use your NSU email for any communications pertaining to this class. Anything related to this class, use your NSU email address. I know you have other email addresses. I have other email addresses besides my NSU email address, but if we are all using the NSU email addresses, that will help prevent certain communications from ending up in a spam folder. So NSU email only. Another of the first assignments for this class, the personal Zoom conference. The purpose for this is so that I can know you a little better and know your goals. I want to know if, hey, are you a safety management major or are you not? We have a few students in this class every semester it's offered that are taking it for their minor, or maybe they're just taking it as a general elective. But I want to know you, your major, your goals, and I think if the more I know about you, the better I'm able to meet your needs as a professor. And also that hopefully it'll help you be more comfortable around me and feel comfortable asking questions when you have those questions. The personal Zoom conference, this should only take no more than 20 minutes. And I'm thinking most of the time it's going to be 10 minutes. But this needs to be completed for everyone by 5 p.m. on September 2nd. If you are in my other online class, Industrial Hygiene, if you're in both Industrial Hygiene and Applied Safety Engineering, you only need to do one personal Zoom conference. One personal Zoom conference and you'll get credit for both classes. Now, as far as signing up for the personal Zoom conference, I'll show you how to do that. I'll bring Blackboard back up here and walk you through it. There is a link on Blackboard for signing up for a conference date and time. And let me go ahead and pull that up. And I'm going to get into the student preview mode. So when I'm in the student preview mode, it will look like what you see when you log into Blackboard. Okay, I'm now in student preview mode. When you log into this class in Blackboard and you want to sign up for your personal Zoom conference, there's a link right here. Personal, or just says Zoom conference sign up. Zoom conference sign up. Click on that link. That will open up my Google Calendar. And these are all the dates and times that are available for completing the Zoom conference. To sign up for a particular time, what you need to do is click on any of the times. You could click on 9:30 a.m. on August 18th or 9:30 a.m. on August 25th. It doesn't matter, but click on one of these dates and what will happen is a booking page will open up, or a link to the booking page. Let me show you that again. I don't mean to overkill this, but I just want to make sure everybody's clear on it. Click on one of these dates. This window will open up. Click on Open Booking Page. And then it shows the available times on the different dates. It starts with August 18th. That will be the first day that any of these dates are available. And then it goes through September 2nd. Let me go ahead. I'm not going to actually create a booking, but I want to show you what happens when you select one of these options. Okay, let me do August 24th, 10 a.m. Click on that. this window is going to open up. You will enter your contact information. And I'm not going to do it because that'll create an appointment that, for me, I don't need an appointment for myself. So, but that's what you will do when you are ready to sign up for your personal Zoom conference. And it's first come, first serve. Once a Zoom conference time is taken, it's gone. And there should be plenty of different times and dates available to accommodate everyone. You will notice I even have dates in the evening. Some of you may work during the day, but I have some dates during different evenings, if that works out best for you. Let me know if you have any questions about the personal Zoom conferences and how to sign up for them. When you do sign up for a date and time, I'll receive an email that notifies me that you've signed up. And I would probably be a good idea to go ahead the first week of classes, go in and pick your date before they're all gone, or before only the bad ones are left. This assignment is worth 50 points. It's a pretty big point total for 10 minutes, 15 minutes of conversation with the professor. This is another assignment with a hard deadline. No credit after the deadline has passed. So if you wait beyond 5 p.m. September 2nd, you're not going to earn any credit for this assignment. One of the big projects that I'm going to have you do during the semester is the OSHA regulations video presentation. As a safety manager, you will do a lot of training. Or even if you're not planning on being a safety manager, maybe you're working toward being another type of manager or working toward another profession, you will be doing presentations. You probably will be using PowerPoint for those presentations. And that's what we're doing in this particular assignment. There are additional directions available. Page 11 of your syllabus here. It talks learning objectives, more information about the activity, presentation length, points, due date, so on. And here are different topics that you can choose from for your assignment. This assignment will be worth 100 points. I do have a video tutorial on how to use PowerPoint to create a video. So what you're going to be doing is creating a PowerPoint slideshow. Then you're going to get into slideshow mode and go through that presentation, and you will be recording your presentation. Kind of like what I'm doing now, but with PowerPoint. I'm not using PowerPoint now, but what you will be doing will be very similar to what I'm doing right now. The due date is not until December 2nd, but I would encourage you to knock it out early if you can. Don't wait until the last minute. If you're really ambitious, you could get this knocked out by, let's say, November 1st, and then not have to worry about it at the end of the semester when you have all this other work that you're trying to get done. But that's entirely up to you. You have until December 2nd. This also has a hard deadline. No credit for video presentations received after December 2nd. During finals week, there will be a take-home final exam. It will be open book, open notes. It will cover materials that were addressed throughout the semester. The material will be material that you should be familiar with at the conclusion of the course. You will have approximately 1 week to work on the exam. The due date for the final exam will be December 9th at 3 p.m. So I will make the exam available to you on December 2nd, December 1st, no later than December 2nd. So you will have a full week to work on the take-home exam. And I'll talk more about that take-home exam as that day gets a little closer. I've talked about assignments with strict due dates. Most of the assignments, however, I'm not as strict on the due dates. If you don't complete the Unit 1 quiz according to the recommended completion date in the course calendar, there's not going to be any point penalty. You can go ahead and complete it even after that recommended due date has passed. Again, there are the exceptions. Email assignment, the Zoom conference, the video presentation, and the final exam. Those have strict due dates. The other assignments where there's not strict due dates, you should do your best to stay on schedule and not get too far behind. One thing about these other assignments that have more lenient due dates, if you submit that assignment past the recommended due date in the course calendar, it may not get graded until the end of the semester. All of my classes, I have grading days for all of my classes. For this class, I'll have one day each week where I get caught up on my grading. And my priority will be the assignments that are submitted on time. For any assignments that are late, they're going to be on my back burner. So, but the main reason to stay on schedule, according to that schedule in the calendar, and let me bring that calendar back up and show you what I'm talking about here. Zoom this out a little bit so you can see. We don't want November. Let's look in August, and let's look at Unit 1. The recommended due date for the quiz and all other assignments for Unit 1 is August 31st. And you have just about 2 weeks to get all that done. That's just one of the larger units. There will be multiple video lectures, so I'm giving you a little more time. Also, I'm giving you a little more time because we're just getting into the semester. We're just getting our feet wet, getting warmed up for what we're doing this semester. Let's go on to September. Unit 2 starts on Thursday, September 1st. And the quiz, the recommended due date for the quiz is midnight, September 13th. And that's for other assignments as well. But again, keep in mind, email assignments, personal Zoom conference, those have hard due dates. And I'll mention that again before we're done because I don't want you to miss those due dates. Look through this calendar and let me know if you have any questions. Bring the syllabus back up here. As far as grades in the class, we're going to be following a standard grading scale. 90% and above is an A, 80% to 89.99% is a B. And here is that grading scale. Also, on page 2 of your syllabus is a table with a table that shows the different activities that will be graded during the semester and the points possible for those different activities. Like I said before, this is subject to change. Now this down here will not change. The 90% and above is an A, that will not change. But the actual points for the unit quizzes, that might end up being 540 instead of 560. Or it might end up being 600 instead of 560. That's really the only one that's where we might see a change would be the unit quizzes. The miscellaneous learning activities may also be, instead of 100 points, it might end up being 125 points or 80 points for the miscellaneous learning activities. Midterm grades. I will be reporting midterm grades for everyone enrolled in the class. These midterm grades that are submitted do not show up on your transcript. The reason I'm mentioning this, last fall when I did an online class, there were not several, maybe 4 or 5 students that were way behind with their assignments. So when it got to midterm, I could only give them a grade based upon what they've submitted. So they received a failing grade because they were so far behind. If we get to midterm and you have several missing assignments at midterm, you may receive a failing grade. That's another motivation for you to keep up. Now, if you are in that position and you do receive a failing grade at midterm, that doesn't mean that has no effect on your final grade. You can have an F at midterm because you've missed assignments and end up with a B, C, B, or A for the class. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And it took me a while to learn this. This is more of my teaching philosophy or learning philosophy when it comes to any kind of class that we take. We tend to get all excited about the grades and we want to make an A and all that stuff. Yeah, I learned, I was probably a junior or senior at NSU before I realized this. If I focused on learning the material first, and that was my primary goal, then the grades would happen. If I focused on learning as much as I could about the material the professor was providing, the grade will happen. The grade that I wanted would happen. But if I just focus on the grade and ignore the learning, I might end up making a grade but not learning anything. For all of our classes we take at NSU or other opportunities you will have for learning, focus on the learning. Focus on taking that information and using that information to make you a better person. For you safety management majors out there, for those of you who will be working as a safety manager, pretty much everything we cover in this class will be applicable to your work as a safety manager. As you're taking this class, you are preparing for your career as a safety professional. So focus on the learning because it's going to be stuff that your boss expects you to know. Your boss is going to expect you to know what a hazard analysis is, and he or she's going to expect you to be able to conduct a hazard analysis. He may not expect you to be perfect in conducting your hazard analysis, but he's going to expect you to know the basic steps involved in a hazard analysis. And hazard analysis, that's just one example. And we will be covering hazard analysis in Unit 1 once we get started and get into the class material. So any questions about grades, let me know. Now these are all optional, and I don't know how it's going to work with all of our classes being online. In past semesters, I try to do 2 field trips each semester. We'll go visit a factory or visit a construction site or different types of businesses and talk to that business's safety professionals. We learn about the business, we learn about the job that is performed by safety professionals. It's a really good learning experience. I'm going to set up some field trips. I'll send out notifications to see who's interested. If we only have 2 people sign up, we probably won't do it. But if we have 8 or 10 people interested in doing a field trip or doing multiple field trips, then we will do those field trips. I've already been talking to some of our former graduates about getting into their facilities or getting onto their property for the purpose of a field trip. Another option, I've not done this in the past, but because we are going online, I think it's going to be important for you to get that extra hands-on experience when you start applying for jobs. We may have 1 or 2 Saturday workshops during the semester. One example of a Saturday workshop that could happen would be a workshop where we focus on hands-on fall protection. We actually get everybody a chance to try on harnesses and put their hands on all the different fall protection gear that's out there that's available for them. We'll talk about fall protection. We'll have a fall protection unit in this class, but you can only do so much with pictures. It's good for future safety professionals to have some hands-on experience with some of the tools and materials they'll be using. The Saturday workshops, this is also dependent on demand. If I put the announcement out there and nobody signs up, well, we're not doing it. If I put the announcement out there, we only have 3 or 4. I think probably for these Saturday workshops, I would need at least 5 people. And what I'm working for with these Saturday workshops is certificates that you could mention on your resume. You could put on your resume that you completed a fall protection workshop, and you'll have a certificate to show that you've completed that fall protection workshop. Or maybe it's a rigging workshop, or maybe it's a heavy equipment workshop. But for each of those workshops, if this works out the way I'm thinking, each of you will be able to beef up your resume by taking these workshops that we'll have. Probably not more than 2 each semester, and that's dependent on the demand. No demand, well, we won't be doing it. Another option is our ASSP group that we have on campus, the American Society of Safety Professionals. We have a student chapter. We do need to find a new president and a new vice president, but we will be having meetings at least once a month where we have guest speakers come in, or maybe the ASSP meeting is part of a field trip. So there'll be opportunities for you to learn more about the profession through your involvement in the ASSP. Being a member of the ASSP is also something that will look good on your resume. All right, we're about done with this course introduction. I know it's pretty long, but I want to clarify everything and get you off to a good start in the semester. And always, if you have questions, let me know. If you're on campus, come by my office. I'd love to see you occasionally. Some of you will be off campus. Some of you may be in Mississippi or West Virginia, or who knows where. Coming by my office is not possible. But if you're in the area and you need to talk to me about something, or if you just want to come by and visit, come by the office. One thing I do need to mention about my office. On the syllabus it says BT 221I. That's my new office, which they haven't moved me into yet. I'm still in my old office, which is in the basement of the business building. It's BT B9C. B9C in the business building. Right. Before I finish up here, let me review the first things you need to get done in the class, or you'll miss out on some points. Do the email assignment. Send me an email using your NSU email account. I need that by the end of the day on August 17th. Go ahead and log into Blackboard and look at the course material available at this time, especially if you're not familiar with Blackboard. Go into Blackboard and kind of explore, look at the different links and so on. Read the syllabus in more detail. There's a lot of information here that I didn't talk about specifically. I want you to read it in more detail and let me know if you have any questions about anything in the syllabus. Sign up for the one-on-one Zoom conference. Again, go to Blackboard, go to the sign up link like I showed you. If you don't remember, you can rewind the video to that section. That's one thing that's kind of cool about videos. If you miss something, you can rewind it and see it again. The Unit 1 material, the real material that we're going to get into, that will be available on Blackboard by 5 p.m. on August 18th. And as far as uploading materials for each unit, I will be following the schedule and on the course calendar. And like I said, though, all of the material for each unit may not be uploaded at the same time. It may be uploaded incrementally. All right, that's it for the course introduction. Always remember that I'm here to help you prepare for your career. Now, sometimes you may think I'm mean because I have a hard assignment or the test is hard or something like that. But it's not me being mean. It's me trying to help you prepare for your career. Your career will be challenging. Some aspects of your education should be challenging. I'm a firm believer in the old adage that that challenges make us better. When we are challenged, we overcome that challenge, we come out on the other end a better person, a more equipped person. Never be shy about contacting me. And I've mentioned this at least twice, maybe 3 times already. Email, text, or we can do a Zoom meeting. And finally, take advantage of this learning opportunity. Material covered in this class is material you will use as a safety manager, or if you're not a safety management major, it's material that could be applicable in whatever profession you end up in. It's not just textbook material that you'll never use. All right, look forward to working with you this semester. Let me know if you have any questions.